What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a pretty good weekend. Hope you guys have yourselves a great Thanksgiving. We are here to talk about Star Wars The Acolyte. It has seemed to rear its ugly head once again. Um, Leslie Henlin, however you want to pronounce it, came out the other day and talked about it. So we're just going to read through this quick article and just see what she had to say about it. Because lo and behold, she's probably blaming the fans. And then we might look at some other stuff as well. Let me see if I can. Let me go ahead and pull it up though. Some Twitter posts regarding that. Let's see. All right, because the Acolyte was obviously not a fan favorite with a lot of people. All right, so I wanted to try to find something regarding Leslie Henlin because what she was saying, but can't seem to find anything good. So let's jump into this little article real quick by the Hollow Files. So the Acolyte creator explains why the show was canceled in a new interview. This came out last week. I'm just now having a chance to get around to it, but we're gonna just talk about it real quick. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right. After mostly staying out of the spotlight for the year since the cancellation of the Acolyte series, creator Leslie Headland finally divulges more about the decisive Star Wars series in a new interview with The Wrap. Headland explains that making the Acolyte was always a major risk. It was a new part of the timeline. It was all new character. It was a part of the lore where you couldn't use a stormtrooper. You didn't have the reference of the politics and the war that Tony Gilroy has brilliantly exploited in such a genius way in Andor. But all the iconography, why can I not pronounce that word? And all those visual references are original trilogy references, and our references were the High Republic novels and the publishing initiative, and then the prequels, specifically with the lightsabers. For many, the risk didn't pay off as The Acolyte was met with mixed reviews from fans and critics. I also think that any gripes creatively with the show are completely valid. Halo remarked that's people's reaction is usually their reaction to their own reaction. But like I said, the show was always a risk. It's the old adage of the first one through the wall is the bloodiest. Headland addresses what her experience was like seeing this show be attacked by people in the media, including those in the Star Wars media. Was not online, Headland said. However, I am a Star Wars fan, which means I have always been since the launch of YouTube, part of the Star Wars recap, criticism, analyzation fandom community. These guys I've known for years and years. So when I got the information from others about what the weather report says, there was this real concern from friends of mine who co-workers of mine that saddened me. I also was like, I don't know who these guys are. You don't have to tell me who's talking about it or how bad it is online. I know exactly who they are. I supported them on Patreon. There are some of them that I respect, and then there are some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunists. Then, of course, there are the fascist race and racist. Okay, so it runs a gamut. Okay, so we're back with the fascists and the racist stuff. Okay, okay, whatever. Anyway, Headland continued. So in some ways I wasn't surprised, and then in other ways I was disappointed. I think you always do that when you create something. It's just that Star Wars is a massive level of visibility. In a surprising remark, Helen said the reaction to the Acolyte taught her not that fan or not that fan. I think that's supposed to be not that fans are toxic, but something else entirely. It made me start to think rather than these fans are toxic or this thing being mean to me, it made me think more about the content being made about Star Wars will ultimately be more culturally impactful than actual Star Wars. When the show was canceled just weeks after the finale aired, Leslie Hanlon says she was not surprised by it. I think I was surprised by the swiftness of it and the publication of it. I was surprised by how it was handled, but once I was getting particular phone calls about the reaction and the criticism and the viewership, I felt like, okay, the writing is on the wall for sure. All right, so Headland stated that understanding of the show's viewership was a little muddied for her. With Star Wars, you're come on, people. You're not just measured within the marketplace that you happen to be in that time. You're measured against every other Star Wars show. With Darth Plagueis making a cameo in the finale and May and Camille teaming up, the Acolyte certainly left off on a cliffhanger. Helen revealed that she had started to develop ideas for season 2 before the show was canceled. My showrunner and I had a lot of ideas going into season 2, so we're definitely thinking about that, specifically with Manny Jacinto's character, said Headland. We always knew that Lee Young Yang was going to be the emotional anchor of the first season, which he was. I would say, yeah, he was. Watching the deterioration of that father figure, so we already had a thought ahead and thought about what type of relationship we wanted to look at in the second season. We had talked about all of that from a thematic and character standpoint, but in terms of actual narrative, there was only a couple of signposts that we knew where we wanted to hit. Ultimately, though, Helen said she has no regrets about the show. I'm absolutely obsessed with Star Wars. I still am. I still love my show, and I know that it was wonderful. We at Star Wars Holocron. This is who it is. I know that Twitter account. Anyway, we at Star Wars Holocron and the Holophiles also think the show was wonderful. You can't what? The show was wonderfully. Think you meant to put wonderful. While some of its storytelling could have been tightened up, and we found the series to be epic, intriguing, oddly romantic, and it's hard to find cooler lightsaber battles in the past 20 years than what we've found in the past 20 years. Okay. So, okay. Then, if we're talking about the past 20 years, this came out in 2024, right? Let me make sure. Let me make sure. The Acolyte came out in last year, June of 2024. So 20 years. So that means we're talking about. So if you're gonna say, it's hard to find cooler lightsaber battles in the past 20 years than what we find in the Acolyte. So what you're saying is, so 2024, if we take 20 years out, so you're telling me the Acolyte lightsaber battles are better than the Revenge of the Sith ones? Is that what we're, because realistically, sure, the lightsaber fights with the sequel trilogy aren't really that spectacular. They're okay. Maybe The Force Awakens is pretty good, but other than that, the Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker lightsaber fights aren't really that interesting. Now, if you want to say the lightsaber fights in the Acolyte are a little bit more interesting than those, sure. But if you're gonna say the lightsaber battles in the past 20 years, that also includes that you're saying that this is better than the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber battles. That's no. No, it is not that good. It is nowhere near close that good to what we see in Revenge of the Sith, whether it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan, Sidious versus Yoda, even Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku at the beginning of the film. Heck, I'll even put General Grievous and Obi-Wan in this mix as well. The lightsaber fights in Revenge of the Sith are clear head and shoulders above anything that we saw in the Acolyte and what we saw in the sequel trilogy. That is what it is. Like I think that's relatively stupid to say. And like, if you're gonna say you're a Star Wars fan, I feel like that's really a stupid comment to say. Now, I mean, listen, they have their opinion. They're allowed to have their opinion. I have no problem with them voicing their opinion. But the same way, people can criticize my opinion about it. But I can still call it a stupid opinion. So, despite the official cancellation of the series, the Acolyte has lived on in several books, and hopefully, we will one day be revived as a full-fledged. No, it's not. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. The show's done. It is done. The show felt more of a fanfic than an actual TV show. And I think that's the problem with a lot of TV shows nowadays. A lot of them seem more like fanfics because you always have that portion of people that are always trying to ship people. Like, oh, this person should be together and all this. It's like it's not about that. And so it was like I have my own issues with the Acolyte that I'm actually about to get ready to start working on here relatively soon. Like a new video series here on the channel. It won't cover just Star Wars; it'll cover other things as well. But probably the first set of it is going to be Star Wars related because we are going to get good bit of Star Wars content coming in 2026 with the Mandalorian, Grogu, I believe Ahsoka season 2. I think there's maybe something else as well. So that'll be something to keep an eye out for. But overall, like I think there was something else too. Let me see if I can find it. There was something else that people were talking about. Uh, it had to do with Amandla. Let me see if I can find it. What the heck was her name? See, that's why I don't even care about her. That's how I don't even remember her freaking name. Oh, here we go. Here she is. Just do this. All right, let's see. Oh, interesting. So this is what I wanted to bring up. So I saw people talking about this, but I didn't look much into it. So Amanda Stenberg deleted her Instagram. That's interesting. Amanda Stenberg deletes her Instagram after the Acolyte showrunner rants about fans and blames them for the show's cancellation. Now that the show was crap and the writing was laughably bad, Amanda Stenberg is the creator of this awful music video. Let's see. That's from 2024. 2024. Let's see. Is there anything latest? Probably nothing like latest. Let's see. The Acolyte, Amanda Stenberg. Okay, so that's interesting. That is relatively interesting that she deletes her Instagram days after this article comes out. So yeah, interesting to say the least. But I don't care as much. Like I've voiced my opinions about the show plenty of times. It just was not a good show. We're gonna do something fun in regards to this here relatively soon. Probably it's gonna be in 2020, like next month in 2026. It's probably when I plan to start doing this, but it's just something I want to do. It's something I thought about for a while. Kind of want to get into it a little bit. Maybe not for everything, but definitely with Star Wars related stuff. I'm definitely going to do this. But anyway, but yeah, that's basically the article. It's the same thing we've heard all over and over. Because if you remember, there were people on Twitter who tried to do this whole cancellation thing of like Geeks and Gamers, Ryan Kennel, Star Wars Theory, Nerdrotic, and all that. Like they tried to do this whole cancellation thing on, and it backfired. It backfired, and so these are people who, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. If you want to call them shields, that's fine. If you want to call them Star Wars shields, that's completely fine. They're the type of people who I don't hold value opinions of those who are basically bought out by people. And what I mean by that is, it's like they're like, I did not receive any financial compensation or anything like that to talk about this game movie, because Star Wars Outlaws did the same thing, where like there's people who were out here just praising Star Wars Outlaws as being a very good game. It was not a good game. Like I played a little bit of it. I couldn't even play the game. Like there was too many bugs, there was too many crashes, and I just could not play the game. It was a terrible game, and I've watched the entire gameplay of it from other YouTubers and stuff like that. It was just not a good game. People who basically bark like seals and repeat everything they're told to repeat, I do not value their opinions, quite honestly, because it just seems really, really stupid. Like, if you can't be honest with the stuff that you're reviewing, because they're like, I think Star Wars Explained was like this, where I think it was maybe when I was watching them during like the Ahsoka series, maybe I think that might have been it. It was some Star Wars series, but I was watching them, like, even though like even I noticed like some terrible writing or something like that in the show, they wouldn't really bring it up. If they brought it up, it was they just say like, oh yeah, this is this, but then they'll just gloss over it. They never really uh give you full detail and reasons and stuff like that. So, and then like you see them out here posting pictures, because I think they were also one of the ones who had pictures with like Disney, and they get like exclusive access to the show, actors and actresses for the shows and stuff like that. So I don't know, but that's just my thoughts about it. But yeah, nothing new with the Acolyte. Basically the same information we knew since last year. Show wasn't good. If you didn't like the show, you're a racist or a fascist. The same talking points we hear 24/7 nowadays. But the show's not coming back. It's just not. You gotta get over it. You gotta move on. It is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.